Welcome to Behind the Scenes. This is our live behind the scenes Q&A show where we tell you all the secrets of the podcast. Or basically we just talk about the latest news immediately and you get some of our more unfiltered thoughts. And then we talk about, personal life things and what's going on in the world. Today is May 22nd. And I want to remind you guys that we had a live show with CHAE Campbell and at NCAAs, and it was amazing. And she answered all the questions, and she also gave lots of inspiration for the tall girls in the world. I would highly recommend it, and you can still buy replay tickets for a limited time. So check it out, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Oh, and if you're a Club Gym member like you guys are, then you get a $5 discount on the live show. You want to watch the replay. Shall we discuss the breaking news before I tell you all the things about graduation?
Yeah, there's a lot of news because we didn't do a show because Jessica had, life stuff that we're going to talk about. But
we did my interview with Sam Oldham.
We didn't do a new news show.
A news show.
There was a show. Very sorry. There was a show, an interview that had already occurred. We didn't do a new news show.
Thank you for acknowledging.
Good Lord. Okay.
People loved the spy stuff. So
people love spy stuff. If I've learned anything from every television show there's ever been, people love spies.
That's right.
But okay, so we need to break down the happenings at the University of Georgia. First of all, that's the first thing I want to talk about because we got the news since we've last talked. First, that Laurent Landi is officially Cecile's assistant, which he has always been Cecile's assistant, but now it's codified in state legal employment documents that Cecile is in charge and Laurent is her assistant.
Exactly.
So the power duo is back at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And then the drum roll announcement that Joss Roberson, who had previously announced that she's transferring away from Arkansas, has selected Georgia, did not exactly come as a surprise that she would go to her elite coaches now. Yeah, but and she did the decision kind of thing where she had a time where she was announcing her decision, which first of all, I think all of that stuff is so stupid, but if the basketballs are going to do it, why not the gymnasts do it?
Exactly.
And also, you get in on it. If all the other people are doing it, you should get in on it. I mean, it's especially, I think there was a possibility maybe pre the Laurent announcement that maybe she would look at Florida and say okay, but it was always most likely that she was going to go with her elite coaches to go with Cecile. And then it was once Laurent was there, it was all right, we know where you're going.
I think it was important for them because all the other teams are going to submit obviously are going to submit complaints to the NCAA and say that this was collusion and someone reached out to another team and she knew and all. And I'm just this is stupidest fucking NCAA rule ever. If you want to go to a different team, fucking go to another team. It's the least of the problems, honestly, that go on. The many other ways of cheating are bigger problems. But I think they had to make it, they had to make it enough time that she didn't commit there and then he was announced. It had to be he was announced and they give it a week and she did other trips. She went to UCLA and Florida.
So do you think that was just cover the bases, or was it ever a possibility that she would go? Or was it you know what, I really want to go visit my friend Nola Matthews and let's see an opportunity. That is what I thought about the trip to UCLA. I was my friends are here. 4 is up? 5? 6? 4? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think it's number one, visit her old teammates because they're mostly at UCLA. And then also all the middle of the country and East Coasters love Florida. It's vacation paradise. So obviously you're going to go to Florida too. And you never know. Some people they actually change their minds when they go to other schools.
You want to keep your mind open, but do your diligent work, making sure you haven't rushed into a decision. Yeah.
But she is a world champion, so she should actually, go. She deserves to take her time, and she's a top recruit, so she should go on all those trips. Yeah, I don't think there was ever a chance, but sometimes things happen. Look, I always remember that story we heard about a gymnast who was committed somewhere and then went to camp and a camp there, and someone told her, "It's so racist here. Don't come to school here. The racism is insane." and then she committed to a different school. That's
Things do
a
change.
story that's
Yeah.
out there.
You want to make sure. Do your visits. Always good. Yeah.
Do your visits, see what it's like. So we do have a very important poll ready for you guys, which is which WCC, World Champion Center, a gymnast is most likely to transfer or commit to Georgia for LA28 prep now that Laurent and Cecile are both there?
Whoa. Okay, the options are Tiana Sumana-Sakura, Zoe Miller, Risa Sponda, who is committed to LSU, and Dulcie Kaler, who is committed to Florida but said she was deferring for the Olympics. This is very interesting.
Let's discuss.
I don't know, because I feel like Risa Sponda and Dulcie Kaler are now fully in the new WCC era.
Yeah, I think Dulcie, she won't go to any college until after, because she is like, oh, I like these coaches, I'm sticking with them. I did really well at Worlds, like made finals, made the team.
Yeah. Can we add an option of none? Because I might vote for none.
Yeah,
I think I might pick none. I think Tiana seems happy at UC. Like, I think that who knows? I never know. I'm making inferences based on nothing, like watching people on a meet on TV, which is nothing. But, I don't think she would change. Zoe Miller, if she is healthy enough to do gymnastics, might, but she might also just be like, my back, you guys.
My back, my shoulders, my...
So I think if of those four options, I would probably pick Zoe Miller if she's able to come back at all.
Yeah. I think Tiana might defer and train there the year before the Olympics. I think she may take time off, but I don't think she's going to transfer. She's just super into being on that team and being in UCLA. And Risa Sponda, I don't know. She hasn't.
Very interesting.
She hasn't deferred. She's, she might also be like, I just want to have fun. I want to go where I'm going to have fun. Laura says,
Joss made a comment about LSU not being supportive of pursuing elite.
So that brings us to the Konnor McClain news. Konnor McClain posted about all of the medical appointments and scans that she has required since NCAAs. I don't know. It was like 15 things.
Scans. I thought you said scams. Sorry.
All the scams.
All of the scams
when
that she gets texted on a daily basis, and I'm like, same's Konnor, same's.
Speaking of scans, so at the high school at Garfield in Seattle where I coached, there was a scam that the seniors would run where they would tell the freshmen that they were selling tickets to. There's a pool on the roof, but you have to buy a ticket to get on to the pool, and so some kids bought the pool ticket.
Oh my God.
Shockingly, in this 1920s building, no pool on the roof. Anyway. So, I mean, it's like, shoulder scan, back scan, elbow scan, knee scan, like all the joints, everything. And she made a comment about, I wouldn't recommend, if I had a kid, I wouldn't put them in gymnastics. And it's really, I think this is a commentary on like very much her gymnastics experience. And also I think there are, we were talking about this morning and we were talking about the comparison between, there's some gymnasts that go to LSU that, didn't do their dreams didn't come true in elite. And so, like Finnegan going to the Philippines and having a good experience, like, even though she's not, successful in elite terms, like she's successful in like bringing attention and having a good time and like
medals.
Enjoying herself.
It's not like she was winning an Olympic medal, but like, Southeast Asian Games, Asian Championships. That's successful.
Yeah, and like bringing positive attention to gymnastics, right? And MML Abuyo, same thing. And there are other people that they are so destroyed after their college career that's it. They're like, I won't even do a handstand again. Like I remember who was it that wrote her book who she was the fourth floor champion for UCLA, I think. And I love her book and I'm blanking. And she found out like her dad had two families and she had to drop out almost because she didn't, anyway, it's a whole Kim Hamilton. She, she opens the book by talking about how she's doing commentary for a meet and she has to crawl out of bed to the bathroom because her ankles won't hold her. it takes them so long to be warmed up and her to like start her day. And I'm like, oh, that sounds horrible. That's awful. And then we were talking about Faith Torres. Faith Torres, there's been so many gymnasts that were so destroyed. And then they got to Oklahoma and they put them in the bubble wrap, the Oklahoma bubble wrap, and then they just compete all around at the last meet and win. Like the college, I think the college experience is super important. You have to look at like, how do people feel? Like everybody feels shitty by the end of the season because you're competing on hard 14 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But like, do you need 7 surgeries at the end of every season? You know, are you doing, you know, stay on this event and just do this one skill the whole time? Like, you're a 10-year-old, like you just can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think these are important questions to ask. And I also think she is one of those gymnasts that has the power to be, she's like the best. She's the national champion for the United States. Like, I feel like she could be like, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I'll wait. And
then you have to ask, is the US Elite program going to take any of that to heart and say like, whoa, this is what elite training and the way we approach it has done to athletes like a few years later.
Right.
Or just like, meh, which is usually the response. It's usually more of like a meh.
And then I also feel frustration from like, there is a generation now, I think, in charge who's like, yeah, don't break yourself. Here's how you can do this when you're older. Because all of them did it, like Chelsea and Sacramone, and they had changed things to come back. And then I feel like they can say all they want, but then the personal coaches at those gyms, you know, they can't control what they do. So Chuso.
Still going
fucking strong. 50, 51 now.
Almost 51. June.
Almost 51. Yeah, 1 month away. It's killing it.
Tashkent World Cup this weekend.
Yeah, look great.
Another complaint I have of World Gymnastics. This is one of your events. Why is it impossible to find the scores for qualification? Why is that just like not information that you assume no one wants this? This is a meet you're running. This is on your calendar. And you're like, oh, we had qualification. Meh. No one cares, right? No one cares what the scores were. No one cares who advanced to finals.
And Elevian has them after the meet, but like we won them during. But I think that's part of like the licensing agreement, which is a problem. It is one of the things
among the problems.
World Gymnastics, which is formerly the FIG, are like, oh, we give it to the organizers; it's their job. And there was such a good article this week in the Sports Business Journal by Rachel Axon, right? Didn't Rachel write that one? Was it her? I always imagine anything that gives credit to gymnastics and talks about it, I'm like, it's Rachel, obviously went there from USA Today. And she talks about how women's sports, the problem is still getting the fucking scores. Like, that is a huge issue. And here we are. Yes. So let's see. All right. Are you going to give us Japanese Heartbreak news?
Oh, yeah. I definitely have some because they announced the Worlds team before they've qualified a team to Worlds, which is a solid move. Miyata Shoko is not on it again for another year. She did not have a great selection competition. Like, I will say, you wouldn't have put her on the team based on these selection competitions. The criticism is, yeah, the same thing happened last year, and then she went to university games 2 months later, and it was great. You're picking in May. But yeah, she had a lot of misses at their selection competitions.
That's you said it was going to be heartbreaking. So there
was always going to be someone left off. So we were talking about Sugihara, who was kind of in limbo after. So they have 2 selection competitions. They have All Japan Championships and then NHK. She was kind of in limbo. She nailed it at NHK. She was like, I will not leave this up to a second of doubt. She was fine. But then it was kind of down to Nakamura, who we've loved, who has a def on bars. She's great on beam. She has one of the top beam scores of the year. She got a 14.6 on one of the days. It was going to be, she needed the one spot they give to not an all-arounder, because that's another issue with the Japan selection is the emphasis on all-arounders. So she got that one other spot, and then there was no other spot for Miyata. Because she really didn't have a great competition, but is also Miyata, and she's great, and we know she can be the gymnast who you absolutely want on this Worlds team. So,
We're used to the heartbreak. So remember no one is pre-qualified to World Championships. And so, which are in Rotterdam this year, and they released more tickets. So if you're looking for tickets, there are more tickets available now. No one's pre-qualified, so the continental championships are the only way you can go. So you have to be the top 2 teams, right?
It depends on the continent. Each continent has a different number. So the only teams that are
number
4. Let me get the tech regs, the technical regulations. Us cool people just call them the tech regs. I will look at what the but each continent has a different number of quota places. So there was one available for Africa, Algeria got it. There was one available for Oceania, Australia got it. Those are Algeria and Australia are the only 2 teams that are qualified to Worlds right now. So if it's like stop the count right now, it's just Algeria and Australia competing against each other.
While you look that up,
Pan American has 5 women's teams, 4 men.
Oh, 5 women's teams. Okay, so that's good. So the U.S. will make it.
Yeah, the U.S. does not have to worry. Like I said, Japan picked their team before they've qualified a team to Worlds. They're going to qualify a team to Worlds.
Yeah, it's Japan. As we know, they have a database and spies all over the world, which we learned in this week's episode. So they're going to be fine. So it is like a pressure meet because you have to qualify. If everybody gets dysentery and can't compete, then there won't be a team. Dysentery, it's still going around.
Very common.
Virus. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's women's gymnastics in the U.S., so you fully expect there to be, if there's going to be a disease that is rediscovered, it'll happen. You'll be like, no one's got that since 1910. Well, half the U.S. women's national team has it because everything's fine in this sport.
So the women's team has been announced. So Charlie Bullock, Hesley Rivera, Claire Pease, Simone Rose, and Lilia Richardson. And
this is the U.S. women's team for the Pan American Championship.
The seniors.
Not just the team for the competition.
Right. Just the U.S. women's team.
Yeah, the U.S. women's team for Pan Am. So they have to qualify to Worlds from this competition. They had a selection camp. These were the top 5 of the all-around. They were also picked for the team. The only question is, I think, like Zoe Malomo's vault would have added like a 0.5 potentially, so that you can make that argument. She didn't have a ton of, her difficulty wasn't all the way back on all the events, but Zoe Malomo was also a possibility.
Shout out to USA Gymnastics. This is what you guys get on behind the scenes. You get the part where I'm like, oh wait, because I was on vacation. Shout out to USA Gymnastics for live streaming a qualifying meet. We never used to get this in the past, and they have held up their end of the bargain with the transparency. So thank you, USA Gymnastics, for doing right by these athletes with the streaming. Okay.
Do I still get to complain about how there were no athlete IDs?
Yes.
For scores on the stream, so you barely can follow what's going along? Okay.
You may.
Thank you. So big news of that competition, I think, was Claire Pease on vault, who got a huge score with a Cheng. My only issue with this is now I am seeing Claire Pease has a Cheng ! This is a game changer ! And I'm like, these are not real vault landings. That does not count.
Which has been a big point of contention and has been brought up many times in the IAC meetings. Like, you're picking people without landings.
So, I would say for me, Claire Pease does not have a Cheng until she goes to Pan Ams and does it. Because being me, I paused that vault when she hit the ground and I'm like, hard landing, that's a fall.
Yep.
So I would say, it's in progress. That would be very cool if she can get it to, Pan Ams, go to Pan Ams and land it. But it's a vault. She has it if she hits it at Pan Ams. It's my feeling on the matter. But that's a big deal. The Cheng is everything. The United States of Cheng. Gotta have it if you want to get yourself on that team.
Just Claire Pease has a Cheng just like our queen and savior from Brazil. You guys, I'm a little sick. And
Rebecca Andrade.
Thank you. Rebecca Andrade has a triple twisting Yurchenko. Even if I've never seen it done on hard mats, it doesn't matter because it exists in a video where she does it. onto mats.
And in your heart. It exists in your heart.
Which I am holding on to right now as I speak of the triple twisting Yurchenko. May she only do it in her final competition when she's 50.
It's called faith, Jessica.
That's
Sometimes you have to take things on faith.
We do.
Something Spencer talks about a lot and is very much believes in.
It's your favorite thing.
It's my favorite concept.
Before we finish the other headlines, I want to tell you guys about some updates about what's going on around here, some things that we have for you, some new and exciting things. Number one, replay tickets only available for another week, I think, for CHAE Campbell's live show. We have some game changes. First, the Gymdle, our daily gymnastics word game, is now free for everyone. No login, no membership, just play. So tell your friends, your training partners, your cousin who keeps asking you to explain a Yurchenko. Be like, here, you can practice. So members, we didn't forget about you. Starting today, we launched the Gym Bee. It's a daily spelling bee style word game built on our own gymnastics dictionary. So important words like Corbett, Nastia, Komanich, it all counts. What did I use? A pack was in there. It's a member exclusive game. One more thing, we're also piloting a referral program. So if you refer a friend, they sign up, send us an email at customer service at gymcastic.com with their name, email, and we'll set them up with a free month and we'll credit you and your account a free month too. It's manual on our end. So please put referral in the subject line of your email and we'll handle the rest. And remember, it is Memorial Day. We remember the heroes who liberated Dachau, just to mention a few things about Memorial Day. And so there was a sale, obviously, for GymCastic merch, because this is how we remember
how Americans celebrate all holidays, regardless of topic.
Fascism and Nazis is by buying things that make us happy. So there's a 25% sale in the store. So check it out, and we hope you enjoy. Back to the headlines.
World Championships, Liverpool 2030.
Yeah.
We're going back to Liverpool.
Love it.
We're at this point, we're on like a 4-city rotation. But so back to Liverpool. That was 2022, right? Liverpool's 2022?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we had a very good place for that, except that there was one room that was freezing cold. But otherwise. Oh, and the people that got in the fight that night. There's a whole behind the scenes about it. Maybe that's what we should run next week. Anyway, I'm very excited to go to Liverpool. I liked it a lot. Yes. Melanie, De Jesus, Dos Santos.
See, this is why you can't say like our queen when you're trying to come up with a name and get me to prompt you, because we have too many. There are
Brazil.
But so you could have, in that case, you could have met Flavia. You very easily could have met Flavia. You could have met Jaji Barbosa. There was a whole feature about her first Mother's Day during the Brazil Trophy. It was Jaji's first Mother's Day. There are many queens in many places. Our system of government is fraught because there are too many cooks in the kitchen. We have too many queens. No one knows who's in charge. It's a disaster. We can't get anything done. But Melanie, queen, French queen, main French queen, back to competition.
So excited about this. And I love if you guys aren't following her on Instagram, I recommend it because you can see that she's an artist by the things she chooses. Like she's putting up many still lifes, which are funny but beautiful as well. Like a bird sitting on the bar in the gym with like this beautiful background. And then, she's selling water or something.
Like photographs, or is she painting now? Sorry, what?
No,
like,
not painting, like photographs. But
okay. I thought in my head, I was like, Melanie has taken up watercolors and she's amazing at it. Of course she has. Probably. Yeah.
But she posted it's like the back of a truck and she's, hawking some water, and as you do. And the caption is like, my giant head. And she's funny. So, why won't you go to Georgia and do college gymnastics, or at least change there? But also
they create rules where you have like a 5-year clock, which is still not official yet.
It's not official. We're waiting to see if the NCAA passes this. So
and then how many appeals there are and how many judges' decisions? Because I already am like, you've got some arguments.
I know. I can't even with this. And then are we back to like Russia and Belarus didn't do anything wrong and everyone with no one?
Yeah, it turns out that didn't happen and they're fine. So World Gymnastics has said they're just fine now. Basically, there are no rules anymore. We're done with that.
Also, if you guys would like to meet our current all-around world champion for the second time from Russia, Angelina Melnikova, or Seda is coming later. The U.S. has opened all the visas for Russians now. So Angelina is here doing a tour of gyms in the U.S. She was just in Chicago. She got to meet up with her fellow all-around buddy, when she who went to there in Chicago with her. Morgan Hurd and Slava were both there, so they did a little reunion photo, which was really cool. So they're touring around. She will be in LA at some point, and I think she put up the dates on her Instagram. What else is happening? Chinese nationals. Oh my God, another beam routine's just my heart exploded.
I haven't even gotten to watch all of them yet, but Coup Chen won the all-around title. So if you remember Coup Chen, new senior, we're very excited about. She's been a junior beam queen for a long time, and then she went to American Cup to make her senior debut, and that wasn't fair because she fell on beam and so did everybody, and it didn't count. So that didn't really show her to an international audience the way we're ready for her when she's on the world's team, etc. this year, because she's amazing. Won the all-around at Chinese nationals. Chu Chi-yun was also there and did very well. Zheng Qingying won the beam title, obviously. So a lot of very exciting routines. But Zhou Yaqin was injured, so it also didn't count.
Question from
Flyer Montana says, I have to go soon, but wanted to let you all know that the kidney transplant was a huge success. Yay! My 5th grade teacher's kidney function has gone from 80% to 86%. I'm still hurting, but gradually healing.
I'm so glad. This makes me so happy to hear. And what an amazing thing to do. So glad you are feeling so much better. Speaking of which, I want to know what your in the world of spy databases and what we learned from this week's interview with Sam Oldham.
World of spy databases. Okay.
Spy databases, that there are, spies sent out all over the place by Japan to take notes and spy on people and take video and everything. And that the Japanese have an office, where they have their computer set up and they can put anyone's name in and bring up all their routines and all their skills and for years and years. Did anything surprise you about that? Is there anything that you're like, what we probably didn't hear, or who has even more than that? Tell me.
The pre-computer eras of what was it like? What are the hard copies? I want to see the Soviet hard copies from the 70s of what that information was like. That's what I want. Also, it reminds me of the time at Worlds in Stuttgart where to walk over to the media area, we had to walk past the Fujitsu station and walk behind all of their computers. And then every time we'd walk by, it was like, shut it down, shred it. No one could look at this. It was my favorite thing. I would walk by sometimes, and even when I didn't have to, just to see that happen. Just go, no one look what's happening.
And I remember being in all the subsequent worlds, and they're just asleep at the computers, just oh my God, when is the project going to be done? We're so over it. I'm
exaggerating at all.
Oh, Deborah Winder says,
I want spy reports printed on a dot matrix printer. Yeah, this is what I want.
Yes.
With kind of lines through the text because it didn't print all the way correctly and you can only kind of read it. Great.
I love that. I feel like the real spy database, and we know about the Eastern European countries and them keeping their compromat. So their database would be here's your routine, and then here's you, breaking your team rules, or here's you drinking, or here's you cheating on your spouse, or here's you, doing something that could look like doping, even if it's an aspirin, or, whatever kind of anything they can use against people to make them go their way. We're going to get to your questions in a sec. This is where we say goodbye to the regular listeners, because now we're going to tell the behind the scenes stories to our Club Gym Nerd members and tell them thank you for supporting us all year long and for helping us go to things like the World Championships later this year, and maybe Hartford for Classic, and definitely championships in Phoenix, where I'm excited to take Waymos all over the place because they have them there, and they're my favorite way to travel. So went back east this week for our niece's graduation. So this is Sophie, who you guys remember was our tumble track ad reader in the early days of GymCastic. It was her very first job. So we went to Cape Cod after graduation was in Boston, went to Cape Cod after. Okay, but then we're getting to the, how do you know it was a trip that we went on? Because, of course, we stayed in an Airbnb. We checked all the reviews said it was amazingly clean and wonderful. But what happens?
Bug or black mold?
We walk into the living room, and first thing, my niece is like, it smells like wet dog in here. And there's
you're in the
big
water
ass, like the biggest one I've ever seen, air purifier in the corner. And I was like, oh no. But I don't really smell anything. That's not too bad. But later, my sister starts to get sick. My mom gets sick. So we're investigating. Like, we can't use the living room now at this point. We're like shutting it off and using another room. What does my sister find on the window? Spencer, can you describe this? Does it look like a petri dish? Like a full complete experiment?
It looks like a straight boy's shower door.
If you like what you heard, get more by joining Club Gym Nerd at gymcastic.com.